We knew we needed the leader of the list, Desmond Lachette. And we knew we needed somebody who was the most compelling person in that room, who just was the straw that stirs the drink.
We put together pretty much the rest of the local cast. That all came together quite well, and we still were wrestling with Lachette.
And through the casting process, you know, you get a little frustrated because you can't get to certain actors, you know, even though you have the courage to call them, you know, their agents aren't going to let you talk to them, or they're not available, or that whole process. And what I did was I called all the other actors when I cast them to thank them for doing the movie. So I called every actor. In the process, we had hired an actor named Tim Ware.
There's a plan in place. Play a big part in it.
We had met an actor named Tim Ware, who's out of I knew him originally out of Atlanta, Georgia, but he lives down in Florida. And Tim came up to read, and Tim has a very good friend in Malcolm McDowell.
Well, Malcolm and I are old friends. We met on the Bobby Jones movie, Stroke of Genius, and became good friends. When I read the script, I talked to the director, and I said, "Gary, who have you got playing Desmond Lachette?" And he said, "Well, we're looking at some different guys." And I said, "Well, I've got a good friend that would be perfect."
And I thought to myself, everybody's got a buddy. You know, everybody's got somebody that want to play with. I said, "Well, who's your buddy? What's his name?" And he says, "Malcolm McDowell."
You must be Josiah. You have your father's eyes. Desmond Lachette.
People call me Rennie.
I bet they do.
And then he goes, "Would you like to talk to him?" I said, "Well, you know, it's going to be hard for me to get to him because we're a small little movie." He said, "You want his cell phone number?"
So I said, "Well, let me call him and see if he'd be interested."
Well, I got a call from Tim Ware, who's an old friend of mine, and he said, "I'm doing this little film in North Carolina, and there's a fabulous part of Lachette."
You got him the script, he liked the part. Said, "Well, here's the deal. If they get us on Pinehurst #2, then I'll do it."
Let's not beat around the bush. There's a couple of really good golf courses around here, and you know, that's what really I was attracted to.
And so I said, "Well, okay, well, the producers have to let us play Pinehurst #2 now." And you got that on film, right? #2, Pinehurst.
So ultimately, Malcolm really did the movie for 3 reasons. One, he liked the script. 2, he wanted to work with our director of photography, Tom Priestley, who's an amazing director of photography who Malcolm had heard of. And 3, to play golf in Wilmington, North Carolina with his buddy Tim Ware. And not necessarily in that order.
Now, what do we got? You know, I like that Jacobson boy.
So Malcolm had fun playing golf, and at the end of it, Malcolm too became a friend. We've talked about doing other things together, and his performance is great. And it was I had the wonderful blessing of sitting next to Malcolm at a film festival where he was getting a Lifetime Achievement Award, and watching the movie with him, and just seeing how proud he was of his performance, of his buddy Tim Ware's performance, and I think of the movie as well.